Welcome to the 7th episode of the MC Knitting Adventures podcast. My name's Colleen.
And my name is May. If you're watching us for the first time, thanks for joining us. For our returning viewers, welcome back, and thanks for those of you who have subscribed to our podcast. We really appreciate that.
We really do.
Today's adventure takes us to Listowel, Ontario, but before we talk about our adventure, Colleen will talk about what we're wearing today.
Okay, so we'll talk first of all about what May's wearing. It is the Koigu scarf by May Landra, and you've seen this pattern before. I had looked at creating something for May that was a little different with a little bit of lace in it, but when she put it on, it just wasn't May, and so I ripped it out and we started with something fresh.
Yeah, I really didn't like the lace, and I'll try and put a picture up of that if I can to show you what it looked like before this look, but I really prefer this look.
Yeah, I think so. And I think the other thing is there's enough going on with the yarn that I used that I don't think it needs that extra piece. So that is by Cascade. It's called North Shore Prints. Now, the interesting thing is that this is 100% acrylic. And I'll tell you, I thought it was cotton when we bought it.
It feels very soft.
It's nice and soft. There's no wool in it. It's going to be easy to take care of. I steam blocked it. And I changed the pattern up a little bit because I put an I-cord edge, I-cord binding to cast off. And I think it's come out really nice.
That's nice, yeah.
Yeah, I really like how it's come out. So that's what May's wearing.
I like the colors.
I know, and it looks so good with that jean jacket. I think you could wear that to work.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay.
And for myself, you've seen this shawl. It's the Snow Day shawl by Mina Philipp, who's the knitting expat. And there are 3 colors. There is Como Blue, and the other one is Summer Sky Heather, and then there's white. And we have had some snow and it's cold again in Ontario, and so I wanted to wear something while it was warm before we hit spring and it would be too warm to wear it.
I have to tell you, Colleen, for a second, that of all the things that you've knit, that is probably one of my favorite things. Just because of the colors, I think they work, and the texture. It looks like it's got some texture and some substance.
It does, and it makes it nice and soft. It's Cascade Superwash, Cascade 220 Superwash Sport, and it's really nice to work with. And when you saw it in previous episodes, it hadn't been blocked, and having blocked it, it's so soft and it just feels really cozy, so it's keeping me nice and warm, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, and I'm going to put some pictures up of what blocking looks like also, just for those viewers that have blocked or don't know what blocking looks like. I'm sure you knitters do. I'm kind of impressed because I'm not a knitter, but I'm going to put pictures up of the blocking. Just
I think that's a great idea, just to show how it changes things up. Right. So that's what we're wearing, and so we're going to head into my finished objects. Now we're going to talk about our finished objects, and the 3 patterns that I'm going to talk about are all free on Ravelry, and those are kind of lovely when you can find those. I really enjoy working on Ravelry because you can put in the weight of the yarn that you're going to use and what you want to have a pattern of, and I really like that you can find those things very easily. So we have a friend who works at the board office that we both work at, and she is going to be a grandma of a little baby girl sometime in the very near future. So we decided that I could create something, and so I had this yarn that's called Bernat Softee Baby. It's DK weight, and so that's what I needed. I had lots of patterns for like more baby yarn, but I needed something that this would work. And so I found one that is called, it's called the Basic Baby Hat. It says Mama Stitchery Projects. So there's what it looks like. And
did I show the hat?
You can absolutely show the hat. And there it is. And you know what? The name of the color is pink flannel, and that's exactly what it looks like.
It's nice.
So it's really soft yarn. It's going to be easy to wash and take care of. So I really was happy with that.
It's really cute.
Yeah, and because it's DK weight, it didn't take a long time to
And it's
create
soft for a child.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's where we started. And then because I had yarn left, I thought, oh, I can make a little pair of socks. So once again, I went on Ravelry, and I found this. It's with Plymouth Yarns. It is they're called the Jeanne Baby Toddler Socks, and it's by Joanne Turcotte. Once again, free on Ravelry. I'll let you hold those up.
They're so cute.
I know, they're cute.
You know what I like? Because we've talked about this before. They're nice and tight there, and they won't fall off.
No, I think so. And it'll keep little baby's feet warm, and so it will be wonderful.
They're nice.
Yeah, so those.
She'll like that and she'll appreciate that.
Exactly. So I'm looking forward to giving those to her. The next two things I'm going to talk about have to do with the fact that I am going to do some traveling. I'm going to leave May here. She's going to take care of the house and take care of work, and I'm going to go visit my brother in Calgary. So I'm very excited about that, and I want to take some gifts with me. So he has his son. His name is Alistair, and he's kind of a funky guy, and I think he... so I was trying to find something for him.
And it can be very cold in Calgary.
Right, so. Exactly. So I decided I was going to make him a hat, and I had seen the pattern, which is called the Bousta Beanie. It's by Gudrun Johnston. Now, it's for fingering weight, and I thought, that's a lot of stitches, and I'm not sure I have enough time to get it done. So what I decided to do was that I was going to hack the pattern, and so I changed it so that I was working in worsted weight. So I found another hat pattern so I could get the gauge that I needed, and here it is. So I'm going to have you hold up that.
Okay. It's got a little slouchy thing going on.
It's a little slouchy thing going on. I haven't blocked it yet. I'll just steam block it because it is 100% acrylic. Sometimes when you're making things for other people and you don't want to have to worry about washing them, you're not sure how much care they're going to be able to handle with that. So that's why I did that.
I love how this turned out. I love the texture of it, and it feels warm, like it would be warm.
I think it'll be good.
The colors are great.
It's Red Heart Soft. So the yarn is in fact soft. It's 100% acrylic, and so I think he's going to like that.
He's going to love it. Alice.
So my plan is I'm going to take the gifts in my suitcase, and when I give the gifts, there's going to be room to bring yarn home.
Oh, there's a strategy.
There's a strategy.
Okay.
I wanted to take gifts anyway, but I think it's going to work. So my sister-in-law, Karen, is a musician. She plays flute. She is amazing at what she does. She's involved in lots of bands.
Very artistic.
So I wanted to make her a bag of sorts because I'm sure there's all kinds of things you have to carry with you. And so I created this bag.
It could be like a little project bag. But
it is a little project bag, but
for a musician.
For a musician, that's right.
You've got it lined in there.
Yep, it's lined.
Great.
And I used fusible fleece interfacing. So it is cushier, so it will protect things in there. So whether or not she wants to throw her wallet in, I don't know what else she needs with her. Hopefully that will help her, and I hope that she really enjoys that.
I like the pattern that you use, the
fabric
material.
Yeah, I know.
It has all the notes and everything on it. She'll really appreciate that.
I think she'll really like that. So those are my finished objects. And what about you, my dear?
Well, my...
It's right there.
The finished object here is a painting. That's one of the first paintings I probably did. Colleen and I went on an adventure, and we went to, we took some photographs, and we took this photograph of this beautiful butterfly. And so I decided I loved the photograph so much, I thought I would paint it. But as a painter, what I'm learning is, you're not really supposed to paint a picture like the photograph, because what's the point? So I have to get a little bit better about being a looser painter, is what they say. It was a first attempt, so it looks more like the photograph than an actual painting. But it turned out okay.
I really like that.
And these were the actual colors of the butterfly.
I
That's
know,
what
it was
so amazing.
Exactly.
It was like it was posing that day, wasn't it?
Exactly. We took lots of pictures.
Yeah. So anyway, it turned out okay.
I think you did a great job.
Yeah, thanks for that. Really and anyway, that's just one of my finished objects, so thank you.
Yeah, and you did a great job.
Thanks.
All right, so that's it for our finished objects. Now we're going to talk about my works in progress. Now we're going to talk about my works in progress. And I try to always have 3 on the go, but I got so involved in one of them that it ends up that there are 2 that I have. So I'm going to talk about the one that I'm loving, first of all, and that is something called the Zilver Shawl. And it is by Lisa Mutch. And I heard about this shawl on the Codependent Knitters. And I saw it and I thought it's beautiful. I am using the Fleece Artist, and it's the National Parks Collection. And this is the Allegro Northwest Territories. So I'm going to ask you to hold one side, and I'll hold the other side, because we're going to pretend we're blocking it a little bit. So if you pull that down, that's perfect. And if you take a look at it, there's all this texture in it. And because there is, and it's such pretty texture, even with this yarn, it's showing, and I'm really pleased. So I'm going to keep going. I have a lot left in the ball. So I still have all of this. Okay, it is a merino, slim merino is what they call it. I think we might say it's a 1-ply, but it is beautiful to work with. and I'm really happy with it's turning out.
I like the color.
Yes, I used the needle that the pattern called for, and it's making it really drapey. So I'm going to make sure I block it nicely, but I think it's going to be nice. And it's kind of a little springy. I love the blues,
like it, yeah.
and so I think it will be really, really nice. So
Very
I'm really
nice.
happy with that. So that's the first one. And the second one you've seen before, and that is an Anguli cowl.
My favorite, of course.
Your
That's
favorite.
my signature cowl.
It is. Every time you wear it, people are complimenting you, and I like that. So it's by Hilary Smith Callis, and I am using the Wisdom Yarns Wool-Free Naked Sock. It is the Bright Spot colorway. It's 93% acrylic, 7% PBT.
And it's nice to see these in different colors.
It is. Now, the nice thing about this, I'm going to hold that up. The nice thing about it is that I'm not doing the stripes, so I don't have to keep changing colors, so I'm happy about that. And the other thing that's nice about this is it's easy to knit in the car. Sometimes if you're working on, I use DPNs for socks a lot, and then something will drop. But this one I can knit back and forth. So I'm thinking that when I go to Calgary, this is something that I might be making on the plane. I think it would be easy. Now, my understanding is metal needles on the plane, not necessarily a good idea. So I'm going to ask for some information about that, but we don't have to worry about that quite yet, but we will deal with that. So those are the things that I'm working on right now. And now we're going to talk about our adventure.
Our adventure today took us to Listowel, Ontario, which is about an hour and a half from London. The yarn store there was called Spinrite, and Colleen will talk a little bit about that after we talk about our adventure. Listowel has a population of about 7,500 people, and it was a major employer of Canada Campbell Soup Company, which was there for about 48 years. And
is it there now?
It's not there. It's gone.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah,
Okay.
but they have other things. But according to Wikipedia, that Spinrite, the fabric company that we visited, it is one of the largest employers there, and it has 375 employees.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I thought that was a lot of employees.
Absolutely.
Now, also, Listowel was a little bit less of an adventure and more of a movie disaster. Somebody had suggested that we maybe do more video taping in our podcast, so I thought, go on to my fellow YouTubers, look and see how we can do this. Remember, jack of all trade, master of none, thought I could do the video. So I thought, I'll get the equipment, and we got the equipment. I'd asked Colleen to get me a gift. She wanted to buy me a gift, so I said, buy me a dead cat microphone. Colleen,
I bought her a dead cat. I did.
Colleen's like, dead cat. And anyway, it's a microphone that goes on and I actually have one here to show you. This is my dead cat right here. And what this is, it's a microphone and cover. But if it's in the wind, if you're in the wind, it doesn't pick up that wind noise. It kind of deafens that a little bit, and it goes on the camera. Of course, we weren't out in the wind, so it really wasn't practical. But anyway, we tried to use the dead cat, and we were videotaping, and we went into the store, and there was people in the parking lot, and I had the tripod, I had all the equipment, and then there was people in the store, and I had this dead cat. You don't look very inconspicuous with a dead cat around your neck.
That's right.
And in the video, they talk about panning and moving your camera slowly, which I thought I was doing. Apparently, I wasn't when I got home. So I had about 2 hours of footage, and Colleen actually said to me, who's a very positive person, actually said to me, you know what? I'm going to be sick. That was your words when we were watching this video.
Yeah, it was just moving way too fast.
So after viewing the video and putting something together, I thought, I cannot put this on our podcast. But you know what? Then I thought maybe this could be a teachable moment where it's like teaching you what not to do in a video. So I'll put it on there and I'll show you what not to do in a video, and hopefully my video skills will improve for when we go to other adventures, and I'll practice those before I torture you with more of my videos on the podcast. Anyway, but if you are gonna get a dead cat, is a great idea. Maybe not for a yarn store. I don't know. Like I just felt uncomfortable going in there with this big piece of equipment. Normally, what Colleen and I really use is these little cameras, the little Canon cameras, and those seem to work really well.
They do. They take great pictures. It's fantastic.
fantastic pictures. We've actually taken pictures and had them blown up, and they turn out great. So it's good little cameras, and this is actually the one that we use for the podcast, actually, like this. So
it's great.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm hoping that you will enjoy the video and what not to do. And even when I edited the video, I put on a front page, the front, you know, what do you call it, title page kind of thing. Yeah. Oh, after I look back, I'm thinking, what was I thinking? It looked more like a carnival than a knitting podcast.
Right.
Again, what not to do, and doing a video. But anyway, put it on there for fun, and we'll see how that goes.
So is it going to happen right now?
That will be happening. I'll put her on right now.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So I hope you see what not to do on the video, and I will practice, I promise.
All right, so I'm going to talk about the Spinrite factory outlet. It is a lovely place if you're looking for things like patterns or Bernat. I'm just going to read them. Karen, Lily, Peaches and Cream. But I thought that was all that was there, because that's all that's listed on their website. But they had Wisdom Yarns, they have King Cole, they have some Sugar Bush. They had all different yarns, and I wasn't expecting that. When we walked in, they handed us a big plastic bag. We didn't know, but we ended up on a day of their tent sale, and that happens a couple of times a year. We went when it was cold. There was no tent, but it was their tent sale. So there was lots of acrylic yarns and bundles of yarn, and you could get 6 balls of yarn for inexpensive. But they handed you out these big plastic bags.
And people were just filling them up, and as you can see from some of the photographs, they were filling these plastic bags up. And it's more of an industrial. It was an industrial area that this place was in.
That's right.
It's more of like a warehouse type thing, but very large and very nice people there. They were awesome.
And it was so busy. They were selling lots. And the one thing they had that I thought was really interesting is they had this big bin. It was huge, but there were all kinds of different yarns in there. It was kind of all jumbled up, and people could buy it and get it weighed. So it was so many cents per pound, and then they could just throw in what they wanted. Right. They could mix it all up. So it was interesting to watch these people go to it, right?
Well, it was really hard for me because I had the dead cat, remember?
Oh, that's right.
I was more, with the video equipment than I was about all that stuff. Exactly. But it was interesting.
It was a great place. Yeah. And if I was looking at something specifically with what they had, I would go back, and even though it was like there were all these little gems, you kind of had to look around, but there were lots of different yarns in there. So I was really impressed with that.
Yeah.
So we had a good day when we went.
It was an adventure, that's for sure.
It was an adventure, absolutely. And so the good thing is we went there on a tent sale day, and that helps out because next I'm going to talk about my souvenirs. Now I'm going to talk about my souvenirs. Before I talk about them, I have to show you what I brought home.
Oh. I'm telling you, I'm going to have to move out.
So I went in, I filled up some things out of the bag. I apologize for the noise, I have to open it. They tie it up, they make a handle, and it's fantastic. So let me just undo this. Sorry for the noise.
I don't know how anybody's going to have that much time to knit with all this wool. I don't understand that. Maybe as knitters you get this.
Yep, absolutely.
I'm having a little bit of a struggle with this.
All right. So I think what we'll do is pause right here.
Okay.
Okay. And then when we come back, I'll have everything laid out. Because if I make that much crinkly noise, it's going to be distracting.
Perfect.
Okay, so we'll be right back. We're back. Thank you for your patience in that. I thought I could do it, but it was just going to be way too noisy. So I bought multiples of the things that I'm going to show you. We have been talking over the episodes about me and socks and heels and what am I going to do. And I've had lots of you comment and I appreciate it very much. So I decided when we were there and things were on sale, I would buy some sock yarn, not expensive sock yarn, but I would buy some and I would make it so that I could make some shorty socks. And I figured then I could get more pairs of socks out of fewer balls. And I'm going to try all kinds of different heels. So that's the first thing that I did. And so it's Patton's Croy, and I'm going to read you the colors because I have to do that. So this is called Tourmaline Stripes. So there's what the yarn looks like.
That'll be a nice color for a sock.
It is. It's got black. There's like a tealy blue. It's quite lovely.
That's nice.
So I think it's going to be nice. And what I did was I pulled out, this is called Gentry Gray. So I pulled out that because I think it's going to work with both of the colors that I chose. So that's for the heels and the cuffs and the toes.
Oh, that'd be nice. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of be like that.
Exactly.
Oh, nice.
And then the other color that I chose is something that's called Slate Jacquard. And there it is. And once again, it's going to go with that.
Nice.
So it was a way of working through. So I've got enough. I should be able to make, well, I should be able to make 4 or 5 pairs of socks. But I'm just going to make shorty socks. There's no sense doing a long thing if the heel isn't going to go. So that's what I'm going to do with that. I'm very excited about that. I found some more wool free from Wisdom Yarns. This is called Blue Fugue. And it's got brown and blue and gray and a little white. It's beautiful. It feels great.
Oh, I like that.
I know.
That'd make a nice scarf.
It would make a nice scarf. So that may be what's going to happen with that. Right. But we won't talk about that right now because we want to surprise some people. So that's good. And then the other thing that I wanted to get, because I knew they had Bernat, I wanted to get, it's called Bernat Maker Home Deck. And what it is it's this interesting stuff. It is, what does it say? Does it say 100%? No, it's 72% cotton, 28% nylon. And I saw on the Espace Tricot podcast that they were making baskets. And I thought...
What kind of baskets?
Crocheted baskets. So you make a circle and then you stop increasing and then it goes up and you can make them as tall as you want, as wide as you want. And so I bought 2 of each color. So this is called Cream. So that's this one.
And so what do you put in these baskets?
This one is called Clay, right? Some neutrals that are going to work. You can sit them in the bathroom. You can put in like cotton balls. You can put in, if you make them little tiny ones, you can put in Q-tips, that kind of thing. You can put in your jewelry on your dresser. Oh, there's all kinds of things. And there you can make all kinds of sizes. So there is a pattern by Churchmouse Yarns and Tees. That's the pattern that I'm going to use. The people from Espace Tricot had made some baskets and they looked beautiful.
Well, I can't wait to see what that's going to look like when you're all finished, because I can't even visualize what that would look like.
I know,
A
it's
yarn
exciting.
basket. So,
Exactly. And the nice thing for me, I've mentioned before, sometimes my thumb gives me some trouble on my left hand. And so these are crocheted baskets, so it's going to give my hands a little bit of a break from knitting.
Yeah, that's
I think
idea.
that's a great idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
So those are my souvenirs. I've got lots of projects in my head and I'm all excited about planning them. So as I get through them, we'll talk more about socks, we'll talk some scarves, we'll talk some baskets, and I'll show you what I've created with these treasures that I found at the Spinrite factory outlet in Listowel. So that's our adventure.
Yes, it was.
And we had a good day, even if we had a dead cat with us. We had a good day.
We had a good day. It was a fun adventure. So.
It was.
Yep, and so until next time.
You take care.